What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we got some interesting news. As undefeated two-time WBC super middleweight world champion, Mexican Ecuadorian superstar boxer, David the Mexican Monster Benavidez, who is 28 wins, no loss, no draw, 24 big wins by way of knockout. He is 27 years of age, 6'2" with a 75-inch arm reach. Because he can't secure the fights he's looking for, mainly the fight with Canelo Alvarez or Jamal Charlo or Jaime Munguia for that matter, David Benavidez is making a plan to now move to light heavyweight. Unfortunately. Fortunately, but not unfortunately. I mean, unfortunately, but fortunately. He is planning now to move to 175. David Benavidez is. And this because he can't secure those fights. One of those three marquee fights. In his last two fights, he had two marquee fights, no doubt. Caleb Plant and Dmitry. He was on the verge of stopping Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant did a lot of excessive holding. And Dmitry, he knocked him out. 6th round. So David Benavidez has become the World Boxing Council, better known as WBC, President Mauricio Sulaiman, board of 32 members. He's become the mandatory challenger for that belt that was his. That was his belt. He lost it twice. In 2017, he picked it up when he beat Ronald Reville. Then he lost it due to recreational D-rugs use outside the sport of boxing. He was stripped of the belt. He then fought Anthony Durrell, beat Anthony Durrell, regained the title. Then, due to a global pandemic, he missed weight on the scale and was stripped of his belt again. But he put himself in position to be the mandatory challenger for said belt once again. And Canelo Alvarez strategically maneuvered around him and conveniently fought for the vacant WBC belt once he was stripped of the belt, and became the WBC WBA champion, fighting for the vacant WBC belt and beating and fighting the WBA super middleweight champion, British superstar, Callum Smith. Then he became undisputed under a calendar year, defending his belts against Avni Yildirim, his mandatory. Oddly enough, he fought against his mandatory Avni Yildirim, and then fought against Billy Joe Saunders, the WBO champion. Then he fought Caleb Plant in November of that year and beat Caleb Plant for undisputed in the IBF title. David Benavidez was considered the best fighter in his division the entire time he became a champion. Canelo Alvarez decided to make that his home and clearly don't want no action with David Benavidez. None. They just gave Canelo Alvarez an ultimatum for his May 4th date. Cinco de Mayo weekend. We already know he already fights on 2 dates. Cinco de Mayo weekend, Mexican Independence Day weekend, which is going to be May 4th and September 14th this year. Those are his 2 dates. He traditionally fights on those 2 dates. He already has a choice to fight on the May 4th date, which came down to 2 opponents for him. Jamal Charlo, the identical twin brother to Jamal Charlo, whom he beat September 30th, and Jaime Munguia. And the PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, founder advisor Al Heyman reportedly told Canelo Alvarez, you can go the route of fighting Jaime Munguia and would guarantee the $35 million. If you push for the Jamal Charlo fight, who's a middleweight, 160-pounder, it's not a big enough fight to generate and give you the guaranteed purse that you're looking for, so you got to make a choice. But David Benavidez is not an equation. If it came down to David Benavidez, he would be the biggest fight out of the 3, Jaime Munguia, Jamal Charlo, or David Benavidez, for Canelo Alvarez. That would justify giving him the 35 guaranteed. But the problem is, it's clear they can't guarantee David Benavidez's purse as well. But when it comes to Jaime Munguia, which is a bigger fight because of Mexico. Mexico, and Jaime Munguia is an undefeated Mexican superstar champion, former champion. Jaime Munguia is with Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, and DAZN. So they're going to help lift some of that weight for those purses and things. A joint network. DAZN is going to chip in. When it comes to David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez, there is no outside entity that's going to chip in. There's none. So that's why they're saying it's a bigger fight for you to fight Jaime Munguia over Jamal Charlo. But David Benavidez' fight is the biggest fight of them all, so you got to pay him like he weighs. Although he and his father, trainer, manager, Jose Benavidez Sr., are not looking to break bank, but they're looking to get compensated for that fight because they know how big it is. So now David Benavidez, who's already mentioned possibilities of moving to 175, and we know he's a very big guy. He rehydrated for his last fight against Dmitry, reportedly 195. So we know he's a big guy, right? It's just unfortunate that if David Benavidez goes to 175, he may not come back down to 168. Which means he's going to let Canelo Alvarez off the hook. Because guess what? Canelo Alvarez, who is 60 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. Canelo Alvarez is not going to voluntarily choose David Benavidez at 175 because he's even bigger and more dangerous at 175 than he is at 168. And Canelo Alvarez, quote-unquote, already dared to be great fighting Dmitry Bivol at 175 for the second time. He already beat Sergey Kovalev at 175 to become the WBO champion. Then he attempted again Dmitry Bivol, who is considered the best, if not the second best fighter, only behind Artur Beterbiev, who he's going to fight in June for Undisputed. And he lost. All but maybe 3 rounds. I gave it 9 rounds to 3 in favor of Dmitry Bivol. You can say 10 rounds to 2. Dominant performance. Right? So, with that said, you think that Canelo Alvarez, Dmitry Bivol, is smaller than David Benavidez. He's 6 feet tall with a 72-inch arm reach. David Benavidez is 6'2" with a 75-inch arm reach and rehydrates bigger than Dmitry Bivol. So you think Canelo's going to voluntarily choose David Benavidez? He ain't doing it at 168? No. Absolutely not. If David Benavidez rehydrate to 195 from 168, imagine what he's going to rehydrate from 175 up. He's going to be easy 200 pounds. Canelo's not going to choose him, and it's unfortunate that fight is going to escape him. But he still could possibly land the winner of Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol, Undisputed showdown. It's truly unfortunate, man, that the sport of boxing and these politics operate this way. The WBC claimed that they was going to make a decision in March on Canelo Alvarez if he didn't, make a decision on fighting David Benavidez. They're not going to strip Canelo Alvarez. It's truly unfortunate, and I don't think that David Benavidez is going to come back down to 168 once he go to 175. And he's super committed. That's the problem. He's grown up. He's matured. He's committed. He's in the gym. He's training every day. He's not letting himself balloon. That's the problem. They ain't going to catch him slipping. They wasn't going to do it in the past, but they definitely ain't going to do it now. And they know that. And now Eddie Reynoso, 2-time trainer of the year, well-renowned trainer, future Hall of Famer, and manager of Canelo Alvarez and trainer of Canelo Alvarez, is stating that they got to be careful with the choice of opponents, selection of opponents for Canelo Alvarez, because he on the tail end of his career, and he only 33. Terrence Crawford is 36. Floyd fought Canelo at 36 going on 37 when Canelo was 23 years of age. Dmitry Bivol is 33. 33. Errol Spence is 33. Jamal Charlo, 33. the tail end. Now, to Canelo Alvarez's defense, he does have 64 fights. That's a lot of fights. 64 fights. But, come on. Come on, man. So, it's unfortunate. But, two sources close to David Benavidez and my brother L-Dub Boxing stated that it's a possibility we could see David Benavidez move to 175. And L-Dub Boxing, he told me that it could be Gavdik, the former opponent of Artur Beterbiev, who was a former world champion. And I like that fight. I like that fight for David Benavidez. As a matter of fact, until he gets his opportunity, I don't care who David Benavidez fights, because he's been unjustly mistreated. So I'm going to support whoever he fights. I don't even care at this point, because this dude is trying to fight the absolute best there is to offer, and they're absolutely doing him dirty. So Alexander Gavdik is 20 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 16 wins by way of knockout. 36 years of age, out of Ukraine, 6'2", 75-inch arm reach, same size as David Benavidez. I like that fight. He fought September of 2023. I like that fight. Got a second-round knockout over Isaac Rodriguez. So I like this fight for David Benavidez. It's terrible, man. They're doing this dude completely bad. Completely. And it's being supported by the boxing fans because, you know, they love politics. Boxing fans love politics, boy. Until it comes to your fighter. As a matter of fact, as I'm making this video, David Benavidez announced that he is moving up in June for the 175 belt. As I'm making this video, he announces the fight. As I'm making this video, he announces the fight. So there you have it. David Benavidez versus Gavdik. So he'll be the mandatory for Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol. It's unfortunate, man. They're doing David Benavidez dirty. They did him dirty. They did him dirty. This dude got to go up to 175 to seek out fights. They did this dude dirty, man. Did this dude dirty, man. Amazing. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. That's all I got for y'all. I'm gone. Peace.